Hi guys, this is Audrey bringing you episode 8 of the Hitchhiker's Guide to Gaming. This week we'll get to see some of the hobbies that gamers have. So here we are.
Aside from identifying as a gamer, I'm also a musician. I love listening to heavy metal. I love writing music as well. I also love my fitness. I'm an instructor. I have a blue belt in Taekwondo. I take part in gymnastics as well. So when I want, I can do flips like this. I also enjoy making videos and being creative.
Well, of course I'm a gamer, but I do loads of other things. I do karate. In fact, I've got a black belt in Shotokan, which I absolutely love martial arts. If anyone's ever thinking they need something to do, pick a martial art. Excellent. I also do a lot of reading. I'm currently on the last Song of Ice and Fire book. Excellent. I've got a massive queue of books. I've basically got a library in my bedroom waiting to be used. I do Warhammer 40k, which is building and painting models and playing with them, all sorts of stuff like that. I watch anime, a bit of TV, not a lot. I love exercise, although I do get lazy sometimes, so I go to the gym. But I'm also one of those people who would just eat an entire cake and another cake and another cake and having lost weight at the end of the day. So gym is hard, but gym is good. I'm not sure it counts as something other than gaming, but I record games for YouTube and mess around with video editing and general gaming fun. But games are what I'm about. I play games in my spare time, and I want to make it my living to make games for other people to play. Games.
Hey guys, despite how much time I spend on Rooster Teeth, I do actually have hobbies outside of gaming, and I thought the best way to kind of tell you about them would just be to show you where I make all my messes. So we'll start in the kitchen, because this is the most recent disaster area. Just got finished making a batch of Oreo truffles and some pomegranate caramels. And then over here we have the pile of stuff I made for the holidays. If you've ever wondered what 2.5 pounds of butter and 5 pounds of sugar looks like, this is pretty much it right here. Love to bake, absolutely love it. I'm terrible at cooking, but baking, that's where it's at. So I can't give you anything of nutritional value, but I can make you fat, so you're welcome. So when I'm not making a mess downstairs, I'm making a mess up here. I do a lot of sewing. I usually make things like quilts and backpacks and stuff. The only thing I do for clothing is I'll make cosplays. Kind of see a hint on what my next project's going to be. Oh snap. And when I'm not doing that kind of stuff, I'm usually over here making things like necklaces and earrings and whatnot with my nice little collection of super shiny glass beads. So that's kind of it. Welcome to my life outside of electronics.
Aside from playing games, one of my major hobbies is making them. Well, trying to anyway. I started programming about 1.5 years, maybe 2 years ago, when we were studying matrices and maths for maybe the 3rd time or something. And my teacher kept saying that they could be applied to all sorts of things, and one of those things was the way that light fell in games. And I thought, well, I do maths. Maybe I can program games. And I was interested when I was younger, and I sort of, every now and then I'd go, you know what, I'm going to try to learn programming, and I'd sort of look at it for 5 minutes and go, no, it's too complicated, and run away. So I tried starting myself off a bit more simply this time, like the basics of programming, and I thought, right, I'm just going to get programming sorted, and then when I'm really good at that, I'm going to start making games. And that plan lasted for a whole of about maybe 3 weeks. After a couple of weeks of just doing basics, I'd kind of just gone, well, let's make a game now. I'm bored of the basics, let's make a game. So now I made my first game, which was a text adventure game called Text Quest, inventively enough. It's a very basic text adventure, and it's the first game I programmed. So it's not perfect, but it's pretty good. I'm still quite proud of it. I made a sequel, Text Quest 2, which is basically Text Quest, but bigger and with slightly more advanced programming behind it, and I've been working on Text Quest 3 for almost a year now, and that's got much more advanced programming behind it. It's got a huge, well, a fairly huge, a huge world for a text adventure, and hopefully I'll get that finished at some point. I love Text Quest but I want to do other things as well. So I've recently started working with Visual Basic and JavaScript.
Other than gaming, I also like to write and draw and also go horseback riding, but the main hobby that's been taking up my time recently has been Belagarth, which is the medieval fighting society. Roll the photos. Cool action shots. This is such a cool sport. Woo! Group shot. Essentially what we do is hit each other with foam swords. It's really fun, and it also encompasses things like sewing and like making our own costumes. Some people are better at it than others, but also making our own weapons and actually getting out and getting some exercise while still participating in this big group of nerds, which we all are deep down.
I'm a gamer. Big part of who I am, but it's not everything of what I am. I have other hobbies as well, primarily art. I do a lot of drawings, don't have many with me, because most on my computer, but I have my sketchbook and X-ray. Draw a lot of people in the arty community, so lots to do it, and elsewhere. Of course, I have one of my bigger drawings over here. Team Labs Team vs. Me. On top of drawing, I also design. I started my own company selling merchandise I design. There's one there. Whereas gaming is a big hobby of mine, I have other interests as well. I spend a lot of time drawing and designing. And they're also another big part of who I am.
I write and I read. I play video games. I record online content. I needlepoint a little bit. And I bake and I cake decorate.
Thank you for watching episode 8, guys. You can find a link to our group on roosterteeth.com down below, along with the profiles of all our contributors. Hope we see you next week. If you would like... You love screwing up my shots. What are you sniffing at? What are you sniffing at?